Okay, let's try not to cry, but it's me, so I'm probably gonna cry. I hope you're smiling because it's me, Rye. Welcome back to Take Care of Your Body by Rye. I'm your host, Rylan Rosano. I'm also a author of Once Upon a Time I Survived Myself, as well as a workbook called the Not Yet Healed or Ready Workbook, which you can find both of those items on Amazon, and Once Upon a Time I Survived Myself is also on Barnes& and Noble. You should definitely check it out. It's really for anyone who's been through anything hard. It talks about heartbreak, chronic illness, growing up too fast, mental health, and so much more. It will feel like such a huge hug, and hopefully you'll check it out. Also, if you want to stay up to date with me, make sure you follow the show. Every Wednesday and Saturday, new episodes come out. We can heal, feel, and deal together. You can also follow me on Instagram for all podcast updates at Take Care by RY. And for all life updates, as well as little author behind the scenes, check out RYLIN ROSEE. Okay, let's get in today's episode. This episode is actually so special to me, and it's so funny that I am doing this because, first of all, I don't know why I didn't do this last year. I totally should have, but my birthday is, well, the day you're listening to this. So, my birthday's today. I am turning 19, which is insane to me, first of all, because I've done so much in the span of 18 years, especially for someone of that age. I've done things that people that are 18 usually don't do. And I'm just so amazed by how much I've been through and how much I've created from what I've been through. And I'm excited for what 19 has to bring. But I wanted to do this episode because my favorite thing about writing and podcasting is when you write about something or I do an episode on it, it almost freezes the moment in time. Because even if years later or months later or weeks later, I don't relate to what I'm saying or the feelings I'm expressing or whatever I'm talking about, it means in a moment of time I did. And that's my favorite thing about writing. I can write about a situation, a person, and they can leave, but I wrote about them. So it pretty much says you mattered at one point or another. So I wrote about you. It's really beautiful if you think about it that way. So I wanted to do this episode for not only myself, because I can look back at it and see how much I've grown and changed and how much has evolved within my life. So November 1st next year, I'll do 19 things I've learned. And I'll look back at this one and be like, wow, girl, you've changed. Hopefully. Hopefully we have grown. I don't know. Growth is beautiful. And I'm going to talk a lot about that today, but I think it's funny. Like a lot of the things we as human beings want require growth, but we're all scared to grow. So it's like a double-edged sword. A lot of the scary things in life require you to grow, and you have to grow to live and evolve and change and create the life you want to live. So don't be afraid to grow. Before we start the episode, I wanted to start it out in a beautiful way. I actually announced on my Instagram my book, One Girl, hold on. I actually announced on my Instagram about my second book, Everything Was Here But You. I'm so excited for you guys to read this one. It's actually the first piece of work I've ever written and am releasing at a time that it still feels like it's relatable for what I'm going through in my current life. It's about this weird space of having everything you've ever wanted, the book, the job, the dream life, but something is missing, a person, a feeling, something just doesn't feel like it's enough within what you have. And it's the questions that we all ask ourselves that no one ever has the answers to, pretty much. It's the feelings that we don't know where to put. It's grief, it's heartbreak, it's just absence, and it will feel like such a huge hug. You can get this in February of 2026, and I'm so excited. It will feel like such a huge hug for you. But in the meantime, make sure you get Once Upon a Time I Survived Myself because that one is just as good. This one's my favorite though. But today I want to spoil you by reading a chapter in it because it's very on par for what we are talking about today. And I'm so excited. I might cry. I'm probably going to cry. It's me. It's okay. This chapter is called Letting Go of 18. 18 was messy. It was beautiful. It was everything I thought I wanted and everything I didn't know I'd have to survive. It was the year I mistook intensity for love, silence for peace, and nostalgia for something worth holding on to. It was the year I learned some people come back just to see if they still have access, and that I don't have to let them in to prove I'm healed. 18 was tears on the bathroom floor, poems written at 2 a.m., the sound of a phone call that both saved and shattered me. It was the heartbreak that taught me softness. It was the distance that taught me connection. It was love that taught me boundaries. And somewhere between all of it, I wrote a book and released it at 18. I featured in magazines, on podcasts. I became a name people could Google. I found a voice that felt like mine again. And for the first time, I learned to love a version of myself worth loving. She loved hard, she lost harder, but she never stopped choosing to stay. And maybe that's what healing really is, not erasing the past, but learning how to carry it without letting it crush you. I don't know what 19 will bring, but if 18 was about holding on, 19 is about release. So here's to the girl who thought love was the ending and is just now realizing it was always the beginning. I'm so excited for you guys to get your hands on this. But today's episode is going to be me talking about 18 lessons I've learned in my 18 years. Let's do it. Starting with number one, warning, these are very emotional. We're all going to cry. It's okay. Healing isn't linear, it's seasonal. And I think this is something I've had to sit with because it's hard. It's like, it's almost like you imagine it. It's like Christmas is a season, right? You get your decorations out, you decorate the house, you decorate the inside, the outside. And then once it's over, you put it in a box and you put it away. And I think that's how we view healing. It's like, okay, I'm healed. I'm going to wrap it up and put it back in the attic. And it doesn't work that way. You're going to think you're healed and you're completely fine one day and nothing's going to trigger you. And you're going to go get coffee with your friends and laugh and be happy. And then the next day, you might not want to get dressed or just throw on a sweatshirt and you're having the worst thoughts in the world and you can't stop crying and you're so emotional and you don't know why. And it doesn't mean you're going backwards. Healing isn't linear. It happens in waves. And if you have moments where you think you're healed and then the next day everything feels like it's happening, against you and not for you, just know that's okay. Some days for me, I was unstoppable, posting, glowing, creating, and then others I could barely get out of bed, but I think we have to realize every version of us that is out there that we had to survive ourselves to become is worthy of love and was healing as well. And you have to sit with that and realize like every single person you've ever been deserves love and deserves compassion because in a way, as we grow, we carry these past versions with us. And it's beautiful to think about that. They just need love and a hug because they follow along on the journey. Once you turn a new age, the other one stays with you. The lessons stay with you. The memories stay with you. So you have to hold on to that and respect that and really hug your inner child sometimes, truly. So remember, growth doesn't mean consistency, it means compassion. You got to be nice to yourself. My favorite quote is like, if you wouldn't say it to your mom, your best friend, or someone you love, don't say it to yourself. And I think that is so beyond true because at the end of the day, we are love. Like I can love the people around me because I have love within myself and I need to give that love to myself in order to love everyone else around me. That makes any sense. But I think we forget that the love that we're able to express is because it comes within us and we have to turn the mirror back to us and realize I deserve love as well. So give yourself some love today. Number two. Love won't always look like safety. Sometimes it's a lesson disguised as a person. Sometimes it's chaos that teaches you what calm feels like, and sometimes it's not forever, but it's still worth it. I want to elaborate on this because I feel like I just said three completely different things at once, and I really want you to understand what I'm saying here. So I think at the end of the day, when we go through a situation in life and we don't learn our lesson, I believe that situation will continue to pop up in your life until you learn the lesson you need to learn from it. And I think it's hard because we often tend to think something's good for us and then it ends up not being good. And then we're like, oh, that really hurt. And then we find ourselves in the same situation months later with the same cycle happening. And we're like, why is this happening? It's the universe literally saying, girl, get it together. Realize when I sent you something very similar the first time, it wasn't good for you. The second time, it's not going to be good for you either. So I think we just really have to listen to our heart and into our gut and understand like some people enter our lives to show us what we don't want, to show us what love isn't, so we can recognize what love is. And I think this is something I really learned because I think it's hard when you have to really wrap your head like, why have I gone through such horrible situations in my life? Like, why did this happen? What was that teaching me? And I feel like a lot of times I can sit here and be like, this person taught me what I never want again in a human being. And even though the situation sucked and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, I learned a version of love I never want to have again. And I think when you take a really bad situation and you can reflect the lesson to be positive, you take the power away from the negative experience. And I think you should do that. So it's hard and it's confusing because I think sometimes we want things so badly in life. We're like, this is it for me. It's forever and ever. This is the one, the situation, this person is it. But it's like, is it the one or does it feel like the one because you've only lived so much life? Is it the best you've ever had? So it feels like it's the best you're ever going to get? Is it good for you or is it good because it's the only version of love you've ever known? And I think when you ask yourself these questions, you're going to realize like what you're attracting really does play a role in how you view yourself as well. And I've learned like the most important kind of love truly is the one we give ourselves, the one I give myself, because when I love myself, I stop mistaking chaos for passion. If you don't love the person in the mirror, if you don't believe you deserve good things, if you don't view yourself properly, you're going to attract people on the same frequency as you, the same vibration, people who aren't good for you, people who have low self-esteem, low self-worth. And something that my therapist actually said to me, she's like, you are doing the work to become a better person, to heal and to attract good. Why would you want to let someone who vanishes, who's unreliable, who has these negative traits disrupt this work that you were doing so amazing and you're working so hard to do? And I was like, that is so true. I think when you're treating yourself properly, you're putting yourself in healthy situations, you're going to realize I don't want anything that is the opposite of the love I'm giving to myself. And it's very healing and freeing when you realize that. Number three, forgiveness does not mean they get access again. I learned this one big time this year. Forgiveness was a really hard lesson for me because I think I don't think you have to forgive someone if they've hurt you. But I think anger holds weight. And it's not even when you hate someone or you're mad at someone, it's not even about them. It's about you holding emotions to them. And that takes energy and work for you. You have to willingly choose to be mad every single day of your life. And life is too short to be mad. Also, anger is just a place for love. It's where love that doesn't have a place to go sits. It sits in anger. So I think when you realize like forgiveness is something for yourself, not really for the person, it's saying, I release you, not I welcome you back. It means freeing your heart from this resentment, but keeping your boundaries firm and, closing that chapter, realizing, yeah, this hurt me. It's, it is what it is, but I forgive you for hurting me. or for putting me in this situation, and I'm going to move on with my life. And I've learned forgiveness is for me, not for the person that hurt me. You have to realize, like, sometimes it's about forgiving yourself because at the end of the day, as humans, we are our worst enemies. We're going to sit here and think, I shouldn't have even spoken to this person. I should have never talked to them in the first place. Then I wouldn't have gotten hurt. And another thing that I've really reflected on is the love and the care you give is a reflection of you. You are not in control of what the person you're giving it to does with it. You have to realize, like, you are giving love and you're giving care and you're putting good out into the world. And that's never a mistake, no matter how the person took it, no matter what they got from it, no matter what they did with it. It just reflects the kind of person you are. So forgive yourself because you deserve love, you deserve compassion, and life is too short to be mad. And forgive the person that hurt you, not for them, but for you, so you can release the energy because you deserve to live a freeing, healing life and not have a weight on your chest that you have to hate someone every single day. Trust me, it's exhausting. Okay, number 4. This one, whew, the right people understand you without translation. And like, this is something I've learned throughout my life because I've sat in situations with people just to say, I'm surrounded by people. I've literally put myself in rooms with people to say I wasn't lonely, to say I had friends, to say I had people. And it's like something I've learned growing up is I would rather have 5 friends I could call in crisis if I'm having a bad night, if I'm upset, if something, is going completely wrong, my anxiety spiked, or just need someone to chat with, than 50 people that don't care about my well-being. I think it really matters how many people can really show up for you than how many people you know. Hot take. So I would rather have people around me that, see me, see who I am, understand my soul, and I don't have to explain my tone, explain my heart, or my silence because you don't have to do that to the right people. They get you, they understand you. The people who love you will meet you where you are, not where or when it's convenient for them. And that's how you know they're meant to stay and they're your people. You don't have to beg someone to be in your life. If they're meant to be in your life, they will. And I think you have to realize, like, sometimes it's about the quality of friends you have, not the quantity. And also, back to the inner work. When you do the inner work on yourself, you are going to attract the right circle. I believe this wholeheartedly because I am living proof of this. I had a time in my life where I had limited friends because I was like, you know what? I'm very protective of my energy. I want to surround myself with positive people. And I realized the people in my life at that time were not so positive. And I did this work on myself. I was healing my body, healing my mind, putting in the effort to become the best version of myself. And when I started doing that, I found people who were on the same wavelength as me. And that is so healing and so beautiful. So remember, sometimes you truly have to put yourself first because at the end of the day, we're always going to have ourselves. And then when you do that, you might find your long lost best friend. Who knows? Okay, number 5. Whew, this one's a good one. You can be both healing and happy. For a while, I believe this lie that healing has to be lonely or sad, but some of my happiest moments came in the middle of my mess, laughing with my friends, writing my book, creating my content, feeling sunlight after weeks of gray. And healing, I think, shouldn't be seen as a finish line. It's an ongoing relationship with yourself, and joy is a part of that journey. So you have to remember that. It's not this line you're going to cross and it's going to be checked off and it's going to stop forever. We're always going to be healing, but you have to realize you can be happy on a healing journey. Two things can be true at once. Remember that. And you deserve love and joy and happiness, especially after going through a horrible situation or whatever you're healing from in the first place. You deserve to laugh and to be happy and to have a good time. So please let yourself do that. And don't think you have to be sad, lonely, or, going to therapy every day and drinking green juices and, you know, skipping down the street. Healing can look like anything. And I'm proud of you. Good enough is a love language to yourself. I used to chase perfection. My worth depended on it. I thought every post, every project, every word I had to say was to prove I was someone. And I think when you stop doing that and you start celebrating the days that I show up, the days that I'm just me, that I, am good enough for myself, it's so healing because good enough means I'm trying, and that's a form of love. So that is number six. Good enough is a love language to yourself. And something I always say is you should only compare yourself to the person you were yesterday and the person you want to be tomorrow. That's it. No one else. Because we are meant to be different. We're not meant to be copycats of one another. Think of how boring the world would be if we all were the same. I don't want to be the same as the person next to me. Yeah, maybe we think the same, maybe we have similar interests, but I don't want them to be exactly like me. That's so boring. And when you think about life that way, you have to embrace your unique traits and what makes you you because the world needs different. So remember that. And you are good enough. So you better believe it. Or else 5'9" blonde Barbie is going to come knock on your door and be like, you're good enough. I'm going to hype you up until you believe it. Okay. Number seven, not every ending needs closure. And I think this is so funny because we tend to, as human beings, fixate on situations that don't have an ending because we all love endings. And growing up, I hated movies ending, goodbyes, sad moments in books. Like, I hate endings. I mean, I do. I don't like endings, and I never was good with them. And I think sometimes it's so easy to rewrite the story or change the way something happened, or especially in a situation where you don't really have closure and you can't just be like, okay, book closed, that's it. It's open-ended and you have to give yourself that closure. It's so frustrating and annoying, and it gives you the space to wonder and have the what ifs or the what nows or what's going on. But I think we all think closure comes from a person, and sometimes it's something we can give to ourselves. And it's also okay to realize some chapters end mid sentence. We might never get this apology from the person that hurt us, the explanation, the goodbye we deserve. But we can find peace in knowing we gave love when it was needed, even if it wasn't returned the same way. And that's the closure. Sometimes closure is the moment we stop rereading the story, especially if it's a story that hurt us. And there's a quote I love, and it's like, the love you gave was never a waste. And that is so true because we truly don't know what humans, we see in coffee shops or on the street or at the park or in school or whatever are going through. You don't know what someone is dealing with unless they open up to you and say, I've been going through this. It's been hard. So at the end of the day, any ounce of love you give to someone, even if it's the wrong person, was love that was needed, number one. And that's always love that's going to come back to you. Because when you pour out love, the universe or whoever is up there that you believe in, I believe, always gives it back tenfold. So remember that. And sometimes closure is you realizing you deserve better than crumbs and someone who treats you like crap. Chapter closed. That's how we're ending the book. You deserve the whole entire world. And if someone doesn't want to give you that, if someone can't even say bye to you, can't even say thank you for being in my life, but this story needs to end, give you a conversation, do we want them in our lives? No. Bye. Chapter closed, door shut, door locked. Um, Comparison steals joy faster than heartbreak. That's number eight. And I've learned this the hard way that no amount of scrolling, comparing, anything like that will ever fill the quiet inside you. There will always be someone more successful, more prettier, more ahead, but no one has your exact combination of softness, strength, and story. So the moment you stop comparing, you start glowing differently. Again, like I said, we are meant to be different. I can get inspiration from Sabrina Carpenter, but we already have her. We don't need another one of her. We want a Rylan. We don't have a Rylan. We have one here, but we don't need another one. You being you is so freaking powerful, and I don't think you realize that. There is no other human being on this earth that is exactly like you, and that is so amazing. You are so amazing and you need to believe in yourself. Truly, the universe literally looked at you and was like, I want to put you on Earth. You are meant to be on this planet. That is so freaking cool. Like, go celebrate yourself today. Come on. Like, you are amazing. You are enough. And you bring so much to the table that the person next to you can also bring to the table, but in a different capacity. People don't have the same ideas, same creative ability as us. We are all different in our traits, our uniqueness, the way we look, the way we dress. It's all art. And art is beautiful. There's many forms of art, music, painting, drawing, writing. They're all different, but they're all beautiful, just like you. Gratitude transforms everything. And I believe this so much. When I started focusing on what I had instead of what I lacked, my life shifted. And I don't say that to be cliche. Gratitude pulls me out of spirals. It reminds me that even when I was exhausted, I am loved. Even when things weren't perfect, they were still mine. As someone who has bad body image days sometimes, gratitude will literally simply change your mindset instead of realizing, I wish my body looked this way today, or I look bad, or I'm a mess. Thank your body for simply getting you out of bed, for moving, for functioning, for letting it do what you love to do. And when you change the perspective to that, everything shifts because it takes away the appearance based aspect of anything and it shifts it to gratitude. And it's the same thing with really sad, unfortunate moments. My new thing in life is when I miss a person or I miss a situation or I miss something, I'm just like, wow, how lucky am I to even have had the ability to be loved like that, to express love like that, to have someone come into my life and simply shape who I am now. And again, people don't leave. We take them with us as we continue to grow and change and write and live and, function. We're literally a museum of any person that's ever loved us and ever been into our life. And I think that is so beautiful and so profound. People show up how they can, not always how you want. And I think this is something that I'm still working on as around my birthday, I will tend to focus on who might not message than who is going to message me and remember my birthday. I might think about one person not messaging me or, worrying about that. And I think it's hard, but it's the realization that sometimes it has nothing to do with us. It's not rejection, it's capacity. Everyone is simply doing their best with what they know, with what they can do. And the trick is learning when to accept what someone can give and when to walk away knowing you deserve more. And I think I love to give people the benefit of the doubt because you really don't know what someone's going through. And if your friend is saying, I'm having a hard time, and their life is a mess, and they're dealing with family struggles, a chronic illness, something is going on, you should be a little lighter on them if they forget your birthday or if they forget to text you or, they're being bad at reaching out. But I think you have to realize when something's a pattern and when something's a circumstance, because we don't want something to continue to happen. If someone doesn't put in effort multiple times, that's a pattern. If someone might slip up here and there and there's something going on causing that, give that person some grace. We are all existing and living for the first time, and none of us know what we're doing. We might look like we know what we're doing, but we do not. So simply remember, be kind, be compassionate, but don't settle for less in any aspect of your life. Friendship, relationship, any situation, don't settle for less because you deserve so much more. Number 11, boundaries are a form of love. At first, setting them made me feel guilty. I used to be scared to say no, even if I didn't want to do something. It was so bad. I also used to be scared of blocking people. I had a huge fear of blocking people, even people that made me uncomfortable. That's insane. That's crazy. Because now it's like sometimes you just simply have to set that boundary. If someone's not respecting you, not wanting to talk to them, not wanting to associate with someone, then you have to block. I mean, what? It's your phone. No one is going to make me uncomfortable on my own phone. That's like my whole thing. It's my phone. You're not going to make me uncomfortable in my own phone. No. It's like you got to think about it. Imagine it's your house, right? Would you let someone in your house or let someone stay in your house if they're screaming at you, making you cry, making you uncomfortable? No, same thing. So if someone was in your house making you uncomfortable, you'd ask them to leave. If someone's in your phone, making you uncomfortable, you'd remove them. Bye, block. But, boundaries don't distance you from love, right? They protect you. So simply you saying, this is my boundary, drawing this line in the sand, saying no, protecting your energy, your sanity, and your peace. If someone disrespects that boundary, they're not your person because someone who loves you, respects you, values you are going to understand why you can't hang out. Maybe you're not feeling well. Maybe, you know, you're going through a hard time. They're going to understand that boundary. They're going to understand that them talking about a certain thing might trigger you and might upset you. They're going to understand that maybe you don't like hugs, maybe you don't like to be touched. That's your boundary. Someone who's meant to be in your life wouldn't cross any of your boundaries. And I think when you think about it that way, it's like, wow, I don't really want someone in my life who doesn't understand my boundaries or understand why I do things or why I have to do things. It's your life. You get to choose who you want to be in it. And I think we all forget that. So remember, you can choose your circle, you can choose who you want to associate with. And if people don't drain you, the people you surround yourself with don't drain you, don't make you feel bad about yourself, and actually better you, they're meant to be in your life. Someone told me, they were like, you should surround yourself with 5 people who think similarly than you or think the same as you, do something similar that you do, but also challenge you. And if you have 5 people in your life who do these certain things, you're doing really well. And I was like, that's so amazing because I really think we become the people we spend our most time with. And if you want to become a better person and you're hanging around with people who don't really do good, positive things, I don't know if that's going to help your growth. I don't think it's going to. You have to surround yourself with people who build you up, challenge you, and make you grow, inspire you, make you realize you deserve the world. You deserve more than you even think. Because my favorite thing is like, I can know the quotes, I can know the advice, I can give myself advice. I can honestly, like, truly give myself what I need, right? But I'll also be like, oh, it's just me. I'll hold my own self back. I need people around me to uplift me. I can say the right thing to myself, but I am not the one who can make it stick. I need to have people to hold me accountable. And I'm so grateful for my friends for that reason, because if I didn't have the people around me, I would not be as amazing and disciplined and driven as I am, because I overthink if I get into these mindsets of, oh my gosh, I'm anxious, I'm overthinking. Now I'm stuck in this little bubble without my peoples telling me, you're Rylan Rosano, you published a book at 18, you can handle someone not texting you, or, hyping me up. Like, I would be a mess. So you have to have people around you that can uplift you on your worst day and celebrate you on your best one. It's so important, truly. And I also think, like, if you don't have the support system, it's okay because, again, like I said, you can find that within yourself, but you should also want to find people that don't make you feel bad about being yourself as well. I think that's so hard to find because it's almost like we feel like we have to project. Okay, I'm just gonna cut that out. Ooh. Real friends don't keep score. That's number 12. Real friends show up, they listen when you ramble, they hold you when you spiral, and they remind you who you are when you forget. Like I was saying, I learned friendship isn't about daily contact, it's about mutual care. It's knowing love doesn't expire during silence. And this is something so true because it's like I can go a while without talking to a friend, but if we can do check ins and pick up where we left off and it feels like nothing's changed between us, that is the most beautiful kind of friendship there is. Because life is busy. No one can text you daily or 24/7, but knowing someone can simply say, I love you, I'm proud of you, I'm here for you, let's call and catch up. And maybe it's been a while, but it just feels like talked just yesterday. That's the best kind of friend you can have, truly. And it's having that mutual care, knowing you can both talk and, you know, get things out and grow and change and challenge each other. Nothing is like more healing than a talk with you, like a really beautiful, smart, deep person that really sees you because it's like, damn, like this person sees me for who I am. And sometimes, like, you're struggling with how you see yourself. And then you have someone that's like, I see you in this beautiful light. You're an amazing person. And you're like, I needed that. That's why it's important to surround yourself with who lifts you up and is good for your soul. Because when you're doubting yourself, you're going to want people you can go to and say, I'm having a really hard time. Can you remind me who the fuck I am? I forgot. And you're going to want them to be able to do that and not make you feel worse, make you feel better. So remember, real friends don't keep score. It's not a race. They want best for you, even if you're on two different paths. We're not meant to compare ourselves to one another. We're not meant to live the same life as someone else. And people that are meant to be in your life are not going to envy you or be jealous of you for being ahead or behind or wherever you're going, because as humans we're all on a journey that's completely different, but it's beautiful when we let each other be on the same journey as us. It's really healing and beautiful. And I don't know, I just think friends are the most beautiful thing in the entire world. So pause the episode and go text someone saying you love them and thanking them for being in your life, because I think it's always a good day to remind our friends that we care about them. Number 14, you attract what you. Number 13, the girl who survived deserves to be celebrated. I used to honestly be so hard on past versions of myself, the versions of me who cried too much or cared too deeply and stayed too long. But I think this quote that heals me and helps me and is going to hit you differently is I was doing the best with what I knew at the time. And that girl fought for me when I couldn't fight for myself. She kept going, and now I celebrate her instead of shaming her, because every version that we were before we are this version now brought us here. And we have to thank them and have that gratitude, as I was talking in the beginning of the episode. Thank that version of ourselves for getting us to where we are now. Even if it was messy, even if we had to go through heartbreak and hell and thunderstorms along the way, they brought us to where we are now, and they deserve to be celebrated, not shamed. Number 14, you attract what you believe you deserve. I can say, I deserve garbage and go find garbage. Or I can say, I deserve the entire world and I'm not going to stop until I get that and have some standards. And then I'm going to find beautiful things out there for me. And I think it's okay to have standards, because if we didn't have standards, we all would be dating people that would stab us and murder us every single night. So we should have some standards. That's a good idea. But when you stop accepting almost love, the bare minimum, garbage after garbage after garbage, everything changes. When you believe you deserve kindness, you deserve good things, gentleness starts finding you, because it found me. And another thing, it's you become so magnetic that, like I was saying in the beginning of the episode, what you put out finds you. That's why you have to show up positively. You have to think good about yourself because when you think good about yourself, good is going to come find you. I promise you. You are magnetic to what you're attracting and what you're putting out into the universe. So if you're putting good vibes are going to come back to you tenfold. It's so true. And it sounds so cliche and so woo woo wellness girl of me, but what matches your energy will find you. And it's going to be like, you're going to find it. And you're like, damn, this is what I've always been looking for. But you have to have this space where you love yourself enough to be able to accept it. That's another thing. A lot of times we're not in a state where we can accept what we want. You can have an amazing person, right? An amazing person walk into your life. They're loving, they're kind, they're everything you've ever wanted. But if you're at war with yourself and you see yourself as a horrible person and your self-worth is so low, you're going to look at this amazing human being that you were gifted and just say, I don't deserve that. I can't accept that because I see myself as so worthless and so small, and you're so amazing. And I'm going to put you on a pedestal because I don't think I deserve someone like you. And that's the problem. You cannot be with someone if you are not completely with yourself. If you're not accepting of who you are and okay with who you are and like yourself. I'm not saying love yourself. Start with liking yourself. If you don't like yourself, you cannot expect another person to come into your life and change you and fix you. That is on you to do. But it's hard to accept love from someone else when you can't accept love from yourself. And it really starts with you. So again, you have to realize you attract what you put out. If you think good about yourself, good is going to come find you. If you think bad about yourself, bad is going to come find you. So you're probably going to want to think some good about yourself and realize you're done dimming to make others comfortable. Shine so bright, be so you, and then you're going to realize opportunities are going to open up. People are going to walk into your life. Everything you've ever dreamed of is going to be yours because you are so you and so authentic and so unapologetically yourself. 15, you can let people go without hating them. Letting go is a part of life, and I hate it, and it makes me sad because I love people and I attach myself to them. But letting go doesn't always mean closure. It means sometimes choosing peace over pain. You can bless people from a distance, love them quietly, and still never go back. My favorite thing is you can't find the right person or the right situation in the wrong one. I can't, you know, be stuck in a situation with a horrible person and expect good things to come find me because the situation's holding me back from good. You can't be with the wrong person and expect the right one to come into your life because you're already in a situation that is controlling you, taking your energy, holding you back. So you have to sometimes let people go, let doors close so new ones, better ones, more aligned ones can open up. And I think when you realize that it's healing and it's freeing because bitterness keeps you tethered, forgiveness sets you free. 16, presence is the prettiest thing you can wear. I used to live half in the moment, half in my head. And I'm not saying I'm completely over that and I'm done doing that. I'm never going to do it again. But I think when you realize you are truly in control of your thoughts, you can be in the best room with all the best people. But if you're so in your head, focusing on these bad thoughts, these bad observations, whatever, it's going to be a bad day because your head is telling you it is. Good things can physically be going on, but if you're thinking bad thoughts, you're not going to have the best day. You have to control your thoughts and think positively and be present within the moment instead of being in your head, getting caught up, absorbing negative energy. And I think realizing like you can focus on what's around you, breathing, notice sunlight, feel my heartbeat, feel your heartbeat, feel the grass, really realize where you are and be present within what's going on. That's living. Living isn't a highlight reel. It's the ordinary moments that remind us why we're still here. And sometimes it's simply walking outside, taking the deepest breath ever and realizing like I have the opportunity to see another day, and that is so freaking beautiful because I can promise you there probably was a day where you never thought it was going to end. You never thought you'd breathe again, breathe again. You never thought it would be good and sunshiny and calm. And when you like can reflect on where you were and where you are now, your perspective changes. Chap Chapter 17. Number 17. There's magic in the ordinary. You have to romanticize the hell out of life. This is one life. We get one life, one opportunity to live. You have to truly realize that big milestones are amazing, but so are the small ones. You know, we love the book launches. We love the huge numbers, the announcements, the awards. We love the most amazing, ways to be celebrated. But I'm also pretty damn proud of myself when I eat 3 meals a day and snacks if I'm still hungry, or I hydrate and I properly take my meds and I get to hang out with my friends and do something good for myself, and I get all the little chores or things around the house I needed to done and I feel accomplished. I think small wins are just as important because the small steps lead to the bigger picture. The small, tiny things we do every single day will lead us to where we want to be. Grocery shopping, cooking, sunsets, a text from your best friend, a laugh you didn't force. The small, tiny joys make the big ones even more memorable, even more celebratory, because you can realize, like, damn, I can enjoy big moments and small ones. And then when you realize that, the small moments will feel so big. And you're just going to be like, damn, like, I love life. I love living. Because truly, life is what we make of it. And I know, like, there's that saying, if life hands you lemons, make lemonade. But it's so true. It's really so true because it's like you can't control the cards you're dealt, but make a beautiful house out of them. Make a beautiful freaking house out of the mess. Turn a messy situation in your life into something beautiful. That's what I've done. That's what I've done. Because it's like you can't control your life. You can't control what you've been through, but you can sure as hell control what you make of it after. You don't have to sit on the floor and eat Ben and Jerry's for the rest of your life. I mean, you can. I mean, I love ice cream, but you eventually get up and say, I don't want to feel like this forever. I'm going to do something with the feelings. And when you realize that, when you realize you are in control of your own life, everything is going to change because you have the ability to better yourself, to make things better for yourself. You need to stop holding yourself back, taking the driver, take the driver wheel, take the driver wheel and realize you drive the damn car. If you don't like where it's headed, pick a new road. Okay, next one. You don't need a perfect story to have a meaningful one. I think this one is so beautiful to end with because there are so many moments within my story. If you read Once Upon a Time, I Survived Myself, it's not perfect. I've been through really hard situations that I never thought I would be able to get out. And I've made mistakes. I've trusted the wrong people. I stayed too long. I cried. I talked crap about myself. And I've, been through hell, and still my story is worth telling because it's real. 18 taught me that I don't need to be fixed to be whole. I'm already complete, and just learning how to love myself through every phase of becoming is just as enough. And I want you to know if your story isn't beautiful, if it's not perfect, if it's not picture perfect, if it's not what you want it to be in 10 years, it will get better. You are the author of your own life and you are in control of the final picture of it. And just know every single day is a new step, a new chance for you to try again. And you're doing so amazing. And I'm so proud of you. And I'm so honored that you're even here and you're listening to me and you like listening to me ramble and talk. And I hope this episode felt like a huge hug for you because it honestly was beautiful for me to even do and reflect and sit down and realize, like, damn, I've changed and I've grown because I really have in the last year. Yeah, I wrote a book and I'm I did an announcement for my second one and I released a workbook, but I've picked better situations for myself. I've put myself in better rooms and better opportunities. I found people who are more aligned with who I'm becoming. I found love. I believed in love. I believe in my ability to love. And I really realized I deserve as much goodness as I put out for myself as well. And just the lessons and the things I've been able to understand this year versus where I was a year ago is so beautiful because growth is scary, change is scary, but the most beautiful things in life require change. And I want you to think about that because it's scary because we don't have control over the outcome, but you don't know if you don't try. A lot of the most scary things that I've ever thought about doing have changed my life. Writing my book, starting my podcast, creating an online name for myself, all of these things have led me to have this beautiful life. And I'm so honored to be where I am today because of the girl I was and who I was and what I've been through. And I don't think I would be here if I didn't go through what I went through. And I hate saying that because all that I went through was horrible, and I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. But in a really weird, twisted way, I think I had to go through that to be the version of me I am today. And I'm honored to be this girl. I'm honored to be who I am for you and to give you a space to feel seen, to feel heard, and to say things that you've probably thought at 3 a.m. like, damn, am I the only one? You're not. Ryland's probably had the same thought. But again, thank you for being here and for listening and for just supporting me and the show. I'm so honored to be going into 19 with you and just have the ability to do this with you by my side. 18 changed me. It stripped me. It softened me. It rebuilt me. I fell apart. I fell in love and I found myself again. And now, as I step into 19, I don't want to reinvent myself. I want to deepen who I am. I want to live softer, live slower, speak kinder. And I just want to be thankful. And I am so thankful. And this is the best way to start being 19 out, talking to you guys because I love you guys. And I'm so honored to have you here listening to the show. To the girl I was, thank you for surviving. To the woman I am, and the woman I'm becoming, thank you for believing. This is my year of peace, presence, and purpose. Happy birthday to me and to anyone listening. Happy new chapter to you. We got this. I believe in us. As always, take care. With love, Rye. If it's your birthday, is there a limit of how many coffees you can have? It's my birthday. I'm going to drink as many as I want. I'm working late because I'm an author and podcaster. Oh, I look so cute because I'm caffeinated. What a twisted humor. Make him laugh so often. What man? I don't need a man. My honey bee. Come and get this podcast. Too bad your ex can't do it for you. Rylan would. Walked in and dream came true it for you. Soft skin and I've perfumed it for you. I know I'm not into it for you. Oh my God. Now he's thinking about me every night. Oh, is that sweet? I guess so. Say you can't sleep, baby. I know that's that right espresso. And I just think the person listening to this deserves the entire world. Mwah, 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 mwah. I'm gonna give you another kiss.